You can't force me to go.
Should you invest in your education?
What are you passionate about?
The 1% every single day is what will get you to where you need to be.
That picture they can put on their wall and show all of their friends when they come. My son, my daughter went to you.
Objection, We're back to the best show on planet Earth. Welcome to the Unplug Podcast.
Best show in the universe.
In the realm of eternity, bro. Hosted by yours truly, Freeman, and my boy
JP.
Like the sauce. Oh, that's HP, isn't it?
HP nut. Guys, welcome. I just want to say I am just quite, I was going to say astonished, but that's not the word. Just, it feels good to kind of build this show and kind of see the subscribers going up and up every day. Guys, it's because of you. You make that possible.
Definitely.
You keep inspiring us to keep going, motivating us to bring that knowledge, bring that wisdom, and kind of just share and help uplift the people in a world full of toxicity. So, yeah, bro, it's real. Like people are hitting me up and just saying, really liking the show. People wanting to get involved. People wanting to come down to the studio.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling, man.
Yeah, we're doing something good, surely.
Do you know what I mean? So, wanted to thank you guys, but for the newbies, we are the Unplug family, and every week we bring a topic for discussion. We debunk, we decipher, we deliberate.
Yes, we do.
And we just try and bring some positivity to your life, man.
Every day, 7 p.m. on a Thursday.
Indeed.
Without fail.
So, talk to me, man. What's going on? How's your week been?
My week's been good. It's been, on the whole, progressive. I've been working on a little project. I'm not going to say so now. As you know, I think we're both working on a kind of similar project, but we'll let the people know shortly. That's been very, very time consuming in my time, whilst also trying to balance, the mentorship kind of side of my business, obviously my day-to-day property management business, family life, socials, everything. So that's been quite hard. It's been like long nights, sleepless nights, but we just got to see it through. And even on the way here, you kind of only said to me, it's like, well, is it 20-something days into the year? I'm thinking, he's got loads of time.
Still a lot of time, bro.
I was just thinking. So it's like, I'm kind of just plowing through, but still got to, seep it in, got to take in the views, take in the sights, be part of the journey as well.
Yeah.
I know I'm trying to get to my destination, but, sometimes every now and again, I have a little quick pit stop and just admire it, you know what I mean?
I was going to pick you up on that because I was watching the last episode last night.
Yeah.
And I recall you saying like, forget the journey. Bro, the journey's important. That's where you make the memories.
It is.
It's hard.
Yes, I'm saying.
The journey is
because
hard.
Sometimes you can get so caught up in the journey and all these sides. It's part of the journey. Like you just get lost on your destination.
Yeah.
And then you now stop off at a pit stop, which you was never meant to stop off at.
At a drive-through.
You know what I mean? You just end up at a Burger King. You know what I mean? So so that's kind of, where I'm at right now. And just sort of plowing through, but we're nearly there. What about you, my bro? What you saying?
Yeah, not too bad. I still feel I'm in a bit of a January blues. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to be honest, normally this time I'm not even in the country. And I feel like I'm feeling it now. I'm looking out the window and it's just rainy, it's wet, it's cold. It's like, I need some vitamin D just to give me that extra boost. But it's been good. Business is picking up.
That's good.
I wasn't in property requirement mode, but a few kind of properties have been brought my way, and I'm like, I know it's January, I know it's cold, but potentially. So I went to go and look at some properties.
Whereabouts?
Central.
Nice.
I won't be telling you where, just in case.
I'm trying to help you guys, man.
Do you know what I mean? But so fingers crossed they go through. Just life is life, man. Just life, man. But
that's good.
Just got to keep reminding myself and reminding you, man. It's not a sprint, bro. It's a marathon,
It's a
man.
marathon. It's true.
So,
it's true.
And enjoy the journey.
Definitely.
Enjoy the journey, man. So we good.
It's good. And in regards to sort of today's episode, peeps, it's in terms of like the foundation. We always sort of like to deliberate, like to see what you guys are also asking us about, what we should talk about, any sort of comments, excuse me, any sort of comments, any sort of topics. And for today's episode, I sort of wanted to speak about kind of like subtopics of it, but should you invest in your education, right? And I think straight off the back of that is also like, should you go to university? And I sort of wanted to deliberate on that. I know between the pair of us, we both didn't go to uni. and we still somewhat turned out all right, or not too bad, right?
Not too bad.
Not too bad, right? But that is not the same for the majority of people. And I just sort of wanted to discuss, you know, some of the pros, some of the cons, if there's any cons, if there's any pros, you know, and maybe some people who are like, you know, some like young people in the early years of adult, or I say 17, 18 or 16 or whenever you're kidulthood, yeah. You know, when you're in your kidulthood and you're sort of thinking, should I go uni? Should I not go uni? My parents are pushing me to go uni and whatnot. So I kind of wanted to discuss that, but I think to kind of set the boundaries first is, obviously you didn't go uni. I didn't. Why?
Thank God. No, do you know what? When I was in secondary school, I wanted to be a pilot. Yeah, like when I was young, I used to travel a lot, and I just thought the thought of being a pilot.
Well, like helicopters or planes?
No, a plane.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, I wanted to be a pilot. I just thought, I heard at the time it was good money, you get to travel, see the world.
Of course, yeah.
I always felt...
That's a new little fact.
I know, right?
Little pub quiz facts.
I know, you didn't even know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
But in order to do that, I researched at the time that I needed to go and study aerodynamics at uni.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, fair enough. So there was a point I was like, uni's my thing. And I started to think, actually, do I really want to be a pilot? Because I don't really want to go uni.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I went to college and I did business studies. And I just, really, it was something about business, like commerce, right? Buying, selling, making money, doing your own thing that really appealed to me. So, yeah, once I left college, it was like, I'm definitely not going uni. I think I said this on another episode. I was just tired of formal education. Do you know what I mean? Sat in a room, just listening to a teacher talk. I kind of had enough. So at that point, I was like, no, uni, I've had enough of education. Let me just go and explore life a little bit away from, I guess, the norm, so to speak. And yeah, mum wasn't pleased, man.
Damn, I can imagine.
Wasn't pleased. I suppose a lot of parents want to see their children, you know, go to school, be successful, go uni.
Yeah, for sure.
Get that picture they can put on their wall and show all of their friends when they come. My son, my daughter went to you. Every parent wants that, right?
Of course, yeah.
So I think when I didn't, it was kind of disappointing for my mum.
In terms of that conversation, because I'm sure the conversation wasn't like, oh, mum, I don't want to go in uni. She's like, okay. It's not how I wanted it, but like, did you have to sort of fight your case, or was your mum quite lax? Or
I think when
sorry as well, did you kind of get any inspo from like you know, your brothers, your friends, your families of that kind of like reinforce your decision making of you don't want to go uni, let alone just sort of like your interest in commerce? Yeah,
no, not really. I think, as I said, from 18. I thought I was an adult. I thought I was a man. So it's like, yeah, you want me to go uni, but I'm a man. I do what I want to do.
Okay.
Cuff around the head. Bad man from young. I was a bad man from young, you get me? But now I was like, Mum, you can't force me to go. Like, what are you going to do? If I say I'm not going, what are you going to... You know what I mean? I'm not a kid no more. You can't grab me by the head and pull me to uni type of vibe. So she kind of accepted it. Like I said, she was annoyed, but I knew I had to make it up.
Course,
somewhere.
Prove her wrong type thing.
Yeah, like prove her wrong. Uni's not for everyone. Like, it's not. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's really not for you. And I think we'll obviously go into it a bit more to kind of talk about whether it's for you or not. But yeah, it worked for me. But what about yourself, man? What's your journey and story about not going to uni, man?
I think not going to uni was very last minute, honestly speaking. So I firstly wanted to become a lawyer because I just thought, actually, naturally, as I said in the previous episode, like I liked acting and I was sort of like very confident speaking in rooms, and again, suits and all these law and order types. I was like, yeah, I can do that. You know, objection, you know. You know what I mean? It's mad easy to get mad peas. You get loads of money. You know what I mean? It's the look, it's the public perception that you're a lawyer, you're a doctor. It was a very, very, like, you know,
you're a high value person.
Prolific title, you know what I mean, or career. So I thought, yeah, definitely want to do that. And then I went to college, and my first, like on an open day, like, so I wanted to do law, business, and I think acting, or they call it practical arts. And then I remember the law teacher saying, law is very black and white, right? It's long hours, it's hard graft, and you either like it or you don't like it. And in that moment, I thought, I don't like it.
I don't like it that much.
I don't like it.
So you just put things in perspective.
Literally. And was that right? Was that wrong? Again, I used to feed off of like if someone told me something negative, like, yeah, I don't want to do that type of thing. So that massively affected it. And
question, why? Because I know you're not lazy.
Yeah.
And I do know that much about you. Like, you're not a lazy person. So
it's just that, obviously, again, I didn't always, you know how we now understand, especially, we'll go to talk about it, like, like a lot of our business teachers never set up businesses. So I just kind of thought and assumed that obviously she's a law teacher, she must have been a lawyer to some degree. And a lot of the times they're not necessarily are or is the case. So I just thought, she's probably a lawyer and she looks dead miserable right now. She's not, like, it's an open that you're like, as a college or a university, you're meant to try sell these courses to potential candidates, to potential students to actually stay here, to spend money. That's how you as an institution make money. Like, you aren't really selling it to me. So maybe she's doing me a favor and letting me know this isn't the career unless if you have a passion for long hours of reading. And like I said, I am a hard worker and I am a hard grafter, but I do that because I enjoy what I'm doing. And she just kind of gave me the impression, it's like, I barely enjoy what I'm doing. Yeah. That's why I am teaching it and not doing it, perhaps.
If you don't love this, leave it alone.
Do you see what I'm saying? So, and that was kind of the vibe I got. So I was like, okay, cool, let me sort of dismiss that. So then I sort of took up business. Again, like you, I've always been a guy selling sweets, donuts, flipping 50p to £1, £2. So like, again, business has always been my thing. So I then swapped out law for economics. Again, on the whole vibe of sort of, and maths as well. I felt flopped that, by the way. I got gassed at GCSE.
A-level's a whole different level.
Flopped that massively. So, but yeah, anyway, I took up maths, practical arts, economics, and business, right? So I took that up, and then I remember like speaking to a guy from my service, and he mentioned that he's a project manager, and he's doing quite well. Like, you know who he is. And he's doing quite well. I was like, okay, you're a project manager. Like, what does that entail? Like, yeah, I worked at BT, British Telecom. Now I work at Dell, and I do this and I do that. And like, I remember like the time when I was younger, like all the latest BMWs and everything. He had like the nice cars and flashy whips. He said, yeah, I did an apprenticeship. I was like, what's an apprenticeship? It's like you work and you earn. I said, what? You work and you earn, and then you get a qualification or like a uni degree. Like sometimes you can get a uni degree, but sometimes it's just like a basic sort of skill, and then you can. I want to do that. I want to be a project manager. So then I sort of set out. So okay, cool. I want to become a project manager. So at the time when I was in uni, when I was at college, if you wanted to do an apprenticeship, a lot of the time it was sort of practical skills like plumbing, building, scaffolding. Like there wasn't a lot of like academic apprenticeships at the time. So I was really struggling. So I said, all right, cool. If I can't find an apprenticeship in project management, I'm just going to go uni and do business management. Yeah. Like that's like my fallback. And also I come from like a Nigerian, West African culture. So it's like I had to create a PowerPoint presentation to my mum. Be like, this is the reason why, economic trends are showing that more and more people are going to apprenticeships, are more likely to be more successful than people. Like I literally had to provide a presentation to my parents to like justify the reason why I didn't want to go uni. And I kid you not, it was probably like the last 2 to 3 months of college. I was in business. I got a call. I said, sorry, miss, can I take the call? And I literally just said, I got the apprenticeship job. I was like, oh, wow. Thank God I got that. So I was like, I sacked it off. Like I did my UCAS. I filled it in. I went to the uni open days. I was meant to go Portsmouth University. Like I was ready. I sorted accommodation. I was literally this close. Wow. This close. Like, so life could have been completely different. Yeah. You know what I mean? 100%. Life could have been completely different. And then, I got the apprenticeship and We're here. We're here live. No, I like that, man. So that's... do you know what? Every time we sit down and talk, we just always learn something new about each other. Like, that's a lot. That's a good look still, man. That's a good look still, man. It's just, I like that. I was going to say, without digressing away from the actual conversation, I noticed the shift kind of in you when that person kind of bestowed that information on you. Yeah. Again, we talk about it like you are the company you keep. Literally. Your circle's important. 100%. He don't tell you about that. You don't know. You just don't know. And like you say, what you don't know. You just don't know, man. You don't know. But I like that. Yeah. One person can change your life. Literally. Literally, people. You know what I mean? So I think, I definitely think that's of value. But in terms of before looking, and maybe we can suppose to discuss it and some of the pros and cons. So before we sort of get into pros and cons, what type of person would you think, in your own perspective, again, we're not professionals, university is for, or an apprenticeship is for, or just general work experience or whatever it may be? Yeah, in my opinion, and I think the older I've realised this more. See, when you're young, your knowledge is limited, right? But I think the older I've realised there's nothing wrong with uni. I think uni is definitely for someone who wants to be a doctor. A lawyer, like really high level, like they know what they want to do. This is my career. I'm passionate about it.
I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
I want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think uni's for you because it's the pathway to become successful as a doctor or lawyer. But if you're not, I think, it's really not that important. You know, I've met a lot of people who even went to uni and they're not even doing the things that they...
Yeah, that was
a guy I know, he went and uni, done his masters, and I saw him driving the buses. So it's like you've gone all those years studying, spent that money, and now not that there's anything wrong with a bus driver, but you were going down that proper academic route, and
like you said, it's debt.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's not cheap. So I know a lot of people don't use their degrees as well. Like jobs they're in, they didn't even need that degree. So really think about that. Well, that's a step. I'm moving too quickly into practical steps. But man, what about yourself? How did you...
In terms of like the type of person that you need to be to go to university or do an apprenticeship, pretty much echo what you said. Like you're a strong academic, you know, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an accountant. I think even with accountants now you can do that in an apprenticeship, or you want to be a doctor, you want to be a surgeon, you want to do something quite clinical and requires a lot of theoretical knowledge to do so that you perhaps maybe might not be able to learn in the field right now anyway. So I think that's the type of person that'll be for uni. And I think more so an apprenticeship is like you're practical. You like to learn as you go. You thrive more of practical, like, you know, what's it called? Tell me, show me. Is it show me, tell me?
Show me, tell me. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
But something like that. Like you like being sure you're a practical, you're a visual learner. Yeah. As opposed to like a theoretical learner. So, and if you're someone along, it depends on how you like to learn as well. Because I was like, I didn't really like this institutional learning. I like to learn. Like I always used like history and stuff like that. I did enjoy maths, but just the environment that it was in, like in a seminar, in a class, and pointing at a whiteboard. But like if education was like this, you know what I mean? Now it's just two people just speaking, having a conversation, dropping some gems. That would keep me a lot more engaged. Yes. Like I was sleeping throughout lessons.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
You look up and people are actually falling asleep. It just wasn't super engaging because essentially you got someone just talking at you.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean? Like literally, and you're stood there and then you've got to put your hand up if you're right. And if you're wrong, you made to feel like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, it's but I just had enough personally.
No, I'm with you. So I think that's good. I feel like, you know, we sort of get an understanding of like who it's for. But let's just start with university first. What would you say are some of the pros of going to university, even though you've not, but like from obviously, you know, people who have gone to uni, they must have had some positive experiences. What you kind of hear and whatnot.
There are definitely pros to any form of education. I think uni's good. You're learning. You've gone. I think uni, if you are a certain way inclined, kind of helps shape you. It prepares you for life because you know people go and live on campuses and you got to fend for yourself now. So I feel like you gain an element of life experiences that you wouldn't get sort of staying at home if you didn't go to uni. Right? Because obviously a lot of people go off. I'm aware not everyone goes and lives on campus, but. Yeah, you get real life experiences. You get to meet new people and be around, create networks and things like that. And obviously the people you meet, especially at uni, if they're serious, you could potentially meet up with them in future life, link up, do things, and you're making friendships. So I definitely feel there's positives. What about you? What would you say the positives are? I know you haven't been.
Yeah.
But
From what I hear and what a lot of my friends have gone university is like definitely at the network, like you said, like you build up a lot of the time friends, business partners, associates that can trickle down to your other network or you can use later down in life. Also, I think the form of independence as well. That's more so if you are on campus, you are, like you said, fending for yourself, you're cooking for yourself, you're in your own home, you're in a abode, like it's a lot more personal. Like it's the support of the maturity aspect as well. I think that's like one of sort of like the pluses I'd probably say with university.
No, definitely.
And more so like now, so like the negatives, you'd say again on university before we jump to sort of like the more apprenticeship kind of thing. What would you say some of the negatives you think would be attached?
Is the big debt afterwards.
Yeah, that's one.
That's probably the big one for me. And I also think the negatives are that you probably went and studied something that you're probably not even using anymore as well. That's so you spent a lot of time doing something that you just didn't even end up using. And that, I think for me, if I was to go uni and study and get myself in all this debt and end up doing a degree in whatever and end up not really doing that,
Yeah.
it would frustrate me.
Yeah, 100%.
Frustrate me massively. And then I've now got a shift in mindset.
Yeah.
And now I feel like the world's on top of me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, literally.
And that could slow down my progress. But those are probably the main ones for me. What's your negatives?
I think my negatives are copy and paste literally everything you said. And just adding to that is, I'll probably say not a facade, but like perhaps like a false reality or concept of how like the actual real world works, right? Like, as I know, you know, my missus, when she came from uni and now into the work culture, like, oh, so like people aren't just like nice. Oh, like teachers and like your line manager aren't just going to help you like, you know, our lecturers did. Oh, like we actually need to work and graft a bit, or like no one's going to teach us, or I can't read books to find out what to do. Like I actually need to find out and make mistakes. So like I feel like you're sort of chucked, you're incubated in this reality or in this environment for 3 to 4 years. And then all of a sudden you now come into the real world and I'll need to find work, right? So depending again in terms of what you take from university and if you can actually allow it to grow and shape you, you could just end up being a baby or a child again in the real world.
In the real world.
You know, so I think that was like a big thing that I've seen from a lot of, you know, some of my mates that have gone to university, like the shift from uni, just, you know, being able to quickly wake up out of bed at like, you know, 10 a.m. because your lecture's at 10 a.m. and then you do your 2-hour seminar, you go back into bed. Like the real life don't work like that.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not.
So it's a big sort of culture,
like
big
a simulation.
mindset. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's one thing that I massively found in a lot of people that have gone to university. Like it takes like a year to sort of acclimatize into this new working thing. And then because maybe you've done it for so long, like the 3 years, you're now on a resentment. It's like, is this what real life is? Is this what,
that's what
you
I
know
mean?
what I mean?
Yeah, you start to think, I wasted all that time for this.
Literally.
You know? So
yeah, that was like one of the big sort of like negatives I can sort of see on my side.
Yeah.
Again, positively on this sort of apprenticeship and more like vocational type of work, right? What do you say are some of the positives, that come on the backside of doing sort of like, you know, working as you earn or learning as you
I feel like pole opposite what you said about uni students. I feel when you're out there kind of in the real world, you're learning important real life skills that you're going to need as you grow older. Do you know what I mean? So I think, you can learn all the different skills. You're learning about life. You're meeting people as well who have a similar mindset to you as well, who have not gone down the traditional road. So you're building, hopefully, a positive network of people who don't just follow the status quo. Like they've realized that, I want to be what I want to be, and I want to do what I want to do, and that's okay. So you're around those type of people as well, and you're not in debt.
Actually, you're making a bit of money.
Do you know what I mean? So, and what I mean by this, even for myself, obviously I started business quite young, and I invested in business and they didn't work, but I had the real life experience
to be able to even do so,
to go on and like, all right, that's failed, I'm gonna go on and do something else. And I always in the back of my mind was keeping like a financial score, like business 1 failed, that cost me $2,000. Business 2 failed, that cost me another $5,000. But it still never equated to a uni degree. So I was like, I'm all right.
That's
because I'm in less debt. But I've got like experience.
And you got the life experiences to show.
I've got the life experience. So
that's a good way of, that's a nice little formula. I like
that's
that.
how I kind of looked at it. Cheat code.
A little cheat code. No, I like that. I think for myself, it massively was like a maturity thing. Like, especially within my apprenticeship, it was in project management and finance. So I was working for like a big wealth management company. So obviously I was the youngest person on the floor, and probably the next person up was probably about like 28. It's about a 10-year age gap. So it massively forced me to grow up and mature, to articulate myself, to be a lot more professional, and then massively scaled a lot of my progression. Whereas, you know, I would have been like a normal standard, like 18-year-old, which again, is nothing wrong. But in terms of, you know, where I wanted to be, what I wanted to achieve, like that massively helped me. And again, I was associating myself, you know, with like millionaires, you know, people who are 50, 60 years old, who've been in this game at 30 years old, giving me the wisdom, giving me the gems. Freeman, don't do this, do this qualification, do that course, don't work here, and etc. So it just gave me a lot to work off. And again, like you said, like practical life, like real life stuff. You know what I mean? That massively helped me again into sort of like as I grew older.
No, sounds good.
What about some of the negatives, would you say? Is like sort of, you know, either not going to university, doing the more apprenticeship, sort of work experience kind of thing, or even just like starting off the little businesses as well, side hustles?
Yeah. The negatives that there is maybe that little disappointment from family. Obviously, everyone loves their family, and Yeah, that touch of nerve.
Yeah,
that one there. Yeah. No, but it's real. Like, you know, like mum, dad, not happy.
Yeah.
And that's quite a burden to take on at a young age.
It is,
you know.
it is.
But at the same time, it can be used in a positive way to kind of fire you up, man, and say, I'm gonna kind of show you different. But yeah, negative, just kind of that disappointment. I did feel quite raw when mum wasn't happy, you know. So there was that. I also think one of the negatives is forgetting how important education is. Yeah. Like if you're doing practical, you can forget how important education is. Like theory side, the theory side. So I feel when you're practical, or from my experience, you forget to understand or see that you need both.
Yeah.
And this is where self-education comes in now. Because if you can do practical and self-educate, you'll always be ahead of the person who's just theory.
Yeah.
Theory.
One or the other.
Yeah, just you can't be both. You know, so those two main negatives from me, man. What about yourself? What would you say the negatives are?
I definitely really liked what you just said there in terms of doing both, because I definitely felt like I was limited, like my vocabulary. Like I felt like, I can't do basic maths. Like I just felt like I was getting dumber, just not being in like education. You know what I mean? So I felt like, there's that aspect of self-development or self-education as well. Like you need to make sure your linguistic skills and your articulation and your English read books.
Yeah, that's the basics.
Basics.
You know tidy what I mean? On the basics.
That's what I'm saying. And you need to maintain that as well. Like you need to maintain that. But I think ultimately for me, one of the negatives that I feel like not a lot of people consider, like, it's lonely. Like for me, I was probably one of two out of like a batch of like maybe like 10, 15 friends, like all over, that didn't go uni. And especially like, as you know, I live in the sticks. A lot of my friends lived in the city. So it was super duper lonely. Imagine growing up 9 to 5, you go on Snapchat, you go on social media, everyone's out in the club or they're in the library working together and they've got kind of that camaraderie. And I'm just there by myself, just eating my little jollof rice in my little office, bro, like my little cubicle. Like it was very, very depressing.
Isolation.
Like it's extremely isolated. And for me, it was very, very lonely. It made me think, did I make the right choice? Is this my life just going to be lonely for the rest? And there's a couple of times, like, you know, I'll drive up and, you know, I'll go meet them and it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same for a degree because they had their own friends. And then I'm talking about college and they're like, bro, we don't talk about that stuff anymore. And I'm reminiscing about the old times. I remember when we used to do this and miss. Like, we don't say miss, we say first name now.
Yeah, you know they're talking about what happened last night.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm just reminiscing about what happened a couple of years ago. So it felt different. And even for myself, because obviously, as you know, like, when we're young, obviously we're all broke, but when you're in uni, you're broke. So I also felt like sometimes when we had to go out, like they had no money and I had money, like there was a real like discrepancy of just like everything from like mindset
just
to what polar opposite, right? And it affected a lot of relationships where like people that, you know, I was friends with when I was in college or I was in school, I'm no longer friends with just because we drifted and just mindset was shifted and, you know, I'm a couple years ahead or they're a couple years ahead or they're doing this and I'm doing that. So like, it's definitely very, very lonely. I did feel it a lot, like, you know, from like 18 to like 19 and a half and 20, like I just felt like, damn, like this is, you know, and then obviously fell into business from there, you know, more properly. But yeah, like it's a lonely journey.
I forgot one of the positives I missed was having money, man.
Yeah.
Because I always had money, bro. I was like one of the first of my friends to like drive.
Yeah.
I was on road from early. You lot are in uni and I'm driving
still
around.
Doing lessons.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? So I forgot. I can't forget the money aspect.
Exactly. That was nice. I can't lie.
You know what I mean? That was good,
nice. It wasn't a lot, but it was still something.
It was something, man.
It was something.
It definitely was.
No, that's nice. It's nice to reminisce. I can't lie.
Yeah, 100%.
It's good. But obviously, as you know, we're always about some practical steps, right?
Indeed.
So for those who, and let's sort of gear these practical steps to those who are in this kind of realm of, should I go? Should I not go? Should I invest in myself and take up a business? Or should I invest in myself and take up a passion? Like I know like some of my guys from when I used to live in Ireland, in Dublin, some school friends. Like, I don't believe he went to university and he's like his passion was cutting hair and he's got like 3 barbershops. You know what I mean? Like no qualifications, no formal form of education. So in terms of some practical steps of where people are deciding, should they do like, you know, the standard apprenticeship? Should they go to uni? Should they invest in their craft and themselves and try to find themselves? Like, what would you say is like the first kind of step to sort of ascertain where you should even go perhaps?
I think and you hear this a lot, and people are probably tired of it, but it starts with your passion. What are you passionate about? Because whatever you do, or whatever you choose to be in life, you're going to have to do it every day, 5 days a week, depending on what career you choose, right? So why not just pick something that you're passionate about, that you can spend the rest of your days or the majority of time doing what you're passionate about?
Spanner in the works.
Go for it.
I don't have a passion. I don't know, like, I don't like...
It's your duty.
So
How do I
find my passion though?
You start thinking about, what do you like? When you're in what puts you in a good mood? Like, what makes you smile? Like, what could you do forever? And don't say sleep, because people are passionate about sleeping.
Eat food.
Or little cheeky unplugged family members like, I like sleeping. No, I'm talking about, what do you like doing that you could potentially turn into a career? You know? Number one, what is your passion? Because I think it starts with passion. It starts with your North Star. Once you figure that out, then we can now make a journey. But I'll talk about that in step 2. What's your step 1? What would your step 1 be?
Again, I pretty much echo what you say. Like, what could you do for a long period of time where it doesn't feel like work? You know, like, what do you enjoy doing? If you like football, could you be a football coach? Could you be training young people to kick football? If you like cutting hair, could you be a hairdresser? If you're fascinated with cars and the engines, could you be a mechanic? You know, could you flip and trade and sell cars? Like, there's always something. Like, if you like trains and sort of figurines and whatnot, like, could you start creating them? Could you do some content on YouTube and start doing something like that? So I feel like, yeah, definitely find your passion. There is, you know, like, I'd like to think there is at least one thing you somewhat enjoy. And even if it just brings some form of joy and it cracks a smile, yeah, let's just crack at it and then think of a couple ways you can potentially try to monetize on that. And also speak to people as well. Like, I think that's massively helped me. Like you said, you don't know what you don't know. So speak to people, go outside and, you know, see what's out there.
No, 100%.
Yeah. You say your step 2 is?
Yeah, my step 2, it would be, I think once you figure out, you know, what you're passionate about, can you kind of make a career out of it? And then once you figure whether you can make a career out of it, there must be something that everyone is passionate about, or a list of things that you could potentially turn into, you know, a career. Not necessarily a business, but a career. Again, I appreciate not everyone wants to run their own business, and business is not for everyone ultimately, but we're trying to get you to a place where you are your highest version, and you can only be your highest version if you're doing what you love, right?
Spanning the works.
Yes.
Say if, like, for instance, I'm sure you might have heard, like, KSI, like, biggest YouTuber, like, he didn't, I don't believe he ever dropped out of uni or didn't go uni or was, like, really, really bad with his grades or whatever. I don't know his whole, like, biographic, but he wanted, his career and his passion was YouTube and playing games. So maybe, if not, obviously now, like, there's literally people who make money off games, and there's loads of case studies for that, so you can do that now. Yeah. But maybe say if it's something where, like, no one is currently doing it right now, and it doesn't look, although you can see you can potentially monetize that, but maybe there's like a bit of pushback. So say, for instance, ignore it being available now, but I like trainers. I want to start flipping and selling trainers. And your mom was like, what do you mean you want to sell shoes? Go to uni, man. How do you kind of combat that in terms of that potential pushback and people not perhaps believing in your passion? Big spanner.
Big spanner. I'll come back to step 2. Yeah. You're taking me across the room now. How much you believe in what it is you want to do?
I fully believe in it.
If you then you got to go. One life, bro.
Even though, like, it's going to mean, like, my family might not like what I'm doing.
Bro, on the journey, what I've learned to success, you're going to upset a lot of people. But like we've spoken about in self-care, you've got to put yourself first. This is your life, ultimately, nobody else's. So you have to do what's right for you. I know it might be hard, but this is your life. Like, it stuck with me. When you said, like, you know, I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad. Like, you have to put you first. Yeah. Have to. So if I believe in this trainer idea, and I think now what I know, if I don't see no one else doing it, I'm like, bro, I got the whole market. Yeah. Let me go now. Yeah. You know? So, yeah, bro, did that hit home?
Yeah, I like that.
Was that a home run?
Yeah.
All right.
Hope you people at home, you're paying attention to these gems. Paying attention to these gems, man.
But cool. Moving into step 2. So, yeah, once you figured out what you're passionate about, can you now...
I was in step 3.
No, I didn't do my step 2.
I thought you said now find out how you can monetize it. That was your step 2.
No, I didn't intro step 2 though.
Oh, did I interrupt?
Yeah.
Okay,
no, that's cool. So my step 2, once you figure out what you're passionate about, you figure out, can you turn that into some type of career or business or whatever it may be? And then find other people who are successful in whatever you want to be successful in, right? If you can.
Yeah.
And find out about their backstory. Like for me as well, when I realized I wanted to kind of do an entrepreneur, and I started studying entrepreneurs, and I'm like, very rarely does a successful entrepreneur go to uni.
Yeah, some form of formal education.
Yeah,
That's true.
If I know I want to be that, and a lot of people said you don't need to go down that road to be that, then why on earth am I going to go down that road? So that kind of helped. But yeah, what I would say is find out who's successful in what you want to be and find out what their journey is.
Yeah.
Because their journey might show you don't need to go uni. Their journey might show you do need to go uni.
Yeah.
But figure out or find out those people, where they are, how they got there, and pay attention, man.
Yeah, no, I quite like that. And I think I've been a bit lazy there, but Jenny, just because I agree, I'm going to copy that and add to it in the sense of also explore your options, see what the open market has available. So like, do consider uni if, you know, you could do hairdressing and beauty and whatever and cosmetics or whatever it may be in university. Do explore, you know, perhaps just looking into investing some time of understanding the mechanics of setting up a business, creating a business and just doing it. Or explore maybe working under someone as an intern, as an apprentice, and trying to understand the practical aspects whilst you slowly, independently learn the theoretical aspects and do it by yourself. So I think like explore what the market has and see what options are available for you, because there's nothing worse than making an uninformed decision and not having all the facts ahead of you. I know sometimes you can like sort of like lead with your heart and like impulse and quick decision, and sometimes speed and urgency is great for sort of making like great decisions, but this is your life we're talking about, yeah. So there needs to be a degree of time, care and consideration that you need to bear in mind when making this decision, because like it can shape you. Like me going to uni would probably mean I'm not here. You know what I mean? So, and vice versa for any sort of like,
it could take you on a whole different
path.
Yeah, path.
So like take some time, very important time, meditate, pray, whatever you need to do to just and just dwell within to find out like, you know, this is you. And like JP said, like be uninterruptedly and carelessly selfish. This is your life. You know
still
what I mean?
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
Yeah, that is the word. No, I like that. Cool. So my step 3, that kind of segued nice. It was like, just be bold. Be bold. Like, this is my life and I'm just doing it no matter what. I'm blocking out the noise. You know, I'm blocking out the noise. I look back at my own life and I think, thank God I did block out the noise. Because I know I wouldn't be who I am if I did go uni. And again, I'm not against uni, but I know what I wanted to do. I know what I was about. I know what I wanted my journey to look like, and it wasn't really that path. So just be bold and self-educate plus self-educate. That's definitely important, I think, because I didn't go uni. I was missing out on the theory side, and I think theory is good, but also kind of self-educated. I read books on, just improved.
Yeah, of course.
You know, improved like, yeah, it wasn't just practical. There needed to be, it's like a footballer, innit? You could be a good footballer. You need some tactics.
100%.
You need some coaches to help improve. So you got to be letting life improve you, but also improve through education.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, I'm
step
with you.
3.
Definitely. And just even sort of like being bold, not also, and again, we spoke about sort of not everyone needs to like you in another episode, right? But I think similarly as well, like don't be a sheep. Just like quite easily, like I said, 95% of all my friends went to university and about 80% of them went to the same university, right? So I had so much of a desire to also follow and do the same, maybe not the same qualifications or whatnot, but just to kind of follow the same. So don't be afraid to be the black sheep. Don't be afraid to be bold and seek out and do something that's never been done or that's not often done, right? And then truly make that decision for yourself. So I probably say, don't follow the masses. If like you always say, everyone's zigging, you're zagging. You know, like try to do the opposite and be unique.
Different.
And
be you.
Exactly. Be you. Be authentic. Be transparent. Be careless. Just do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that will massively help. And I think especially when you sort of look back and you think, well, I'm here now, I've got to keep on going, right? And you've done this all on your own volition, right? No one has pushed you, no one has forced you, no one has incentivized you. You've done this from your own research, from your own passion, and this is what you want to do. So, don't follow the masses. Don't look at what anyone else is doing. Just do you. Like we always say, like, you're on your own race. Like you even said in a couple of episodes ago, like, look into the other side to see how far the other racer is. It could stumble you. You could trip up.
Slow you down.
It could slow you down, right? So again, just remember you're on your own race and you're on your own journey as well.
Love that.
Like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bad boy still.
Come on.
Nice. Cool. Guys, we are at that part of the show called Plug Bites. So this is where we pull out something that's inspired us, motivated us, made us just think, wow. You just pause for a moment, you read and you think, and then I send it to you.
Yeah, literally.
So hopefully we read them out. I pick one, Freeman picks one, and it's just to kind of inspire you. You might pull some gems from it. You might think, and then implement it in your life. So here we are.
Cool. You want me to go? Or?
I think I'll go first.
Go on.
This is actually unknown. And it reads, whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all the fears you have overcome. Now, I normally like to kind of have a plug bite that feeds off the back of the show, but this one was
it needed its own segment.
Yeah, it needed its own. I had to kind of pause. It's a shame it's unknown as well, because it's very powerful. I mean, what does that mean to me? Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you can come. Like on this journey of life, I think we forget our journey. We forget how far we've come, and we probably feel like that maybe because we're not where we want to be. And we always want more, but don't forget where you've come from. Don't forget where you was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and the progress. If you're making progress, which you should be, the progress,
100%.
So, 100%. And I do that a lot.
Yeah,
I do that a lot.
I'm guilty of that as well.
I do that.
I'm guilty of that. Why do you think you do that?
Honestly, I just feel where I'm at in my life, I should have made a lot more progress. And it plays on my mind a lot. Do you know what I mean? So
is that comparison?
No, just I know I'm not where I want to be because I messed around a lot. Like I wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time probably doing things that I shouldn't have been doing.
No, but it's good to know that. Like, you know what I mean? Some people are still in Lululand, you know what I mean? In La La Land, shall I say? Like they just don't know. Like they're kind of wondering. But I feel like, would you say that sort of motivates you? No,
definitely it does. Obviously, I've got big dreams, aspirations, and want to go certain places in life. But it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes because I think, I wasted a lot of time. And time, man, you can never get it back.
100%.
So use it wisely, guys. Use it wisely,
so what's a lesson to the younger generation?
Just time waits for no man. People are sitting around thinking, man, I got a lot of time, man. I got a lot of time. And you blink, bro. And like you even think about it, like what's today, the 22 days into the year already, bro. It feels like Happy New Year was just the other day. Like time, the days are going quickly.
Literally.
You know what I mean? So just don't waste time, man.
100%.
Just do it. Yeah, sorry.
I like
Stole
that.
a bit of the show.
No, I like that. My one, again, a bit like JP's, slightly off topic, but we'll try to reel it in. But again, I sort of came across and I just had to highlight and I had to share with you guys. It's from Alex Ramosi. It says, I always tell myself, yeses give me opportunities. No's give me feedback. Either way, I win. Perfect. And I just thought that was bad, boy. Ooh. That was bad. I'm going to read it for the people in the back in case you didn't listen.
Make sure you're listening.
I always tell myself, yeses give me opportunities. No's give me feedback. Either way, I win. And for me, and again, trying to reel it back to this episode, is like, whether you choose to go to university, whether you choose to go to do an apprenticeship or set up something for yourself, just do it. Like you said, take a yes as an opportunity, take a no as feedback, right? Make sure, if you go a step back, you make sure you're making 2 steps forward. The 1% every single day is what will get you to where you need to be. So always have that, always have that sort of vision, is that everything is positive, You're not here today because, God said it wasn't your time. You know what I mean? If you had it X amount of times earlier, you might have squandered it. You might not have appreciated it. It might have been detrimental to you. So, and I think you helped me with that a lot, in trying to just always see a positive in a situation. Trying to understand, okay, cool, I'm not where I'd like to be. I'm not where I want to be, but where am I currently at now, and what can I be grateful for? And is it further ahead than where I was X amount of time ago, right? And I think in this kind of journey of life, that's something that we always, and again, we're guilty of it, we're all human, right? Like, no one is perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say, it takes practice, bro.
100%.
It takes practice, man.
100%.
Like, you can't implement something once and think it's going to change. You have
Discipline.
to keep, it's like my brother, shout out to my brother. He's like, when you're going to share one of my, we went away for my birthday. And he was like, in life, you have to try and take a positive from a negative situation. Jason.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that's
he kind of, big bro still. He kind of said that. And it's like, if you could, I know it's not always easy, because life ain't sunshine and rainbows. But if you can try and take a positive from a negative situation, then you can't lose. Nothing phases you.
Literally.
And you got to be tough, man.
Unstoppable.
Life's tough, man. The grades are starting to pop up now. Life's tough, man, but we're gonna get it, man. We're gonna get it, man. But cool, guys. That is the end. It's been a blast.
Absolute.
Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
share,
tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell his mistress. I mean, that's the thing now.
That is the thing still.
And yeah, please, we appreciate all the feedback you give us. Again, please making sure you're following us across all channels, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, the whole lot. Please comment. We like to sort of collaborate with you guys on any sort of ideas and any sort of episodes. Again, who you think we should get on? We might have a guest. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Watch this space.
Again, as always, sorry guys. Love, love, love.
Elevate.